Today, I'm gonna walk you through step by step exactly how to use the flight point search tool in Daily Drop Pro, and we'll cover everything from finding available point bookings, setting up and transferring points between accounts, and ultimately getting an airplane ticket with your name on it so that you can turn those points that are just sitting in your accounts into a travel memory that you will never forget. Let's get started. So if you missed our launch video about Daily Drop Pro, you can check that out on our YouTube channel for a high-level overview of the many tools that are built into this product. But like I said, today's video is all about flight point search, and we're gonna be searching for a flight to Paris because I love Paris.
Baguettes.
But this is much more about the step-by-step process and not as much the destination, so you can obviously apply these steps to any place that you're looking to travel to. All right, so the first thing you'll want to do after deciding on a location, of course, and a rough time of year is to enter that info into the flight search tool, which is the second icon from the top on this left-hand menu in Daily Drop Pro. So I'll enter my home airport of Washington, enter our desired destination of Paris, and then in this case, I'm gonna pick a random date in January since I know that's the rough time of year I'm looking to go, but obviously you can repeat this search for a few different dates if you want to. From these top drop-downs, I could also select premium, business, or first class, but for this example, we'll stick with economy. And I can also select how many passengers I'm searching for, and in this case, we'll just leave it as one passenger. And lastly, you can decide how you want these search results to be sorted, but I usually just leave this on the default, which is going to put the cheapest options at the top of this results page. So now we're just gonna click search, and like we talked about in the original launch video, we're just gonna sit back for a minute and let Daily Drop Pro do its thing, because it's now sifting through hundreds of potential options for us without us having to set up and log into dozens of individual loyalty accounts and search everything manually. Once these results finish loading, you can see that we still have over 100 to choose from. So we can narrow things down using the filters on the left-hand side of the screen. So in this case, let's say I'm looking for direct flights only, and that narrows things down to just 3 available options. And you may not realize this at first glance, but this screen that you're seeing right now is actually a fantastic example of the value that Daily Drop Pro provides. I say that because these first 2 cheapest results are actually the exact same flight, but Daily Drop Pro is telling us that it's actually better to book this Air France flight through Virgin Atlantic's Flying Club program instead of through Air France's own Flying Blue Rewards program. Yes, the fees are about $50 more with Virgin Atlantic, but you're gonna save yourself 8,000 points by booking this Air France flight through Virgin Atlantic, which is something that you otherwise might not know to do unless you had these airline alliances memorized and search each program individually. Before I book this though, I wanna know how much this seat would cost if I was paying with cash. So I can click on this compare with cash option button, and it immediately jumps to the Google Flights page, which tells us that this seat is $506. And knowing that, we can then quickly subtract the $154 in taxes and fees, divide that by the 12,000 Flying Club points required to book, and that gives us a pretty decent redemption value of 2.5 cents per point. Okay, that's great and all, but how do we actually go about booking this Air France flight through Virgin Atlantic by transferring points from a bank? Well, if you're new to all of this miles and points stuff, that probably sounds really complicated, but I promise it's actually very simple, and Daily Drop Pro is going to walk us through every single step, so let's check that out next. If we click on our selected flight, it's then going to open this step-by-step menu that's going to walk us through the entire process from start to finish. First, Daily Drop Pro is prompting us to either log into or set up a Flying Club account with Virgin Atlantic, and you'll need that in order to get this membership number, which we'll come back to later in the process. Now that we've set up an account with Virgin Atlantic, Daily Drop Pro tells us to run a search for this award seat to verify that it's still available. And you can copy and paste all of these flight details directly from the screen if you want to. So back on Virgin Atlantic's site, where we just set up our accounts, we'll click on the Book Reward Flight option, enter all of those details, and there we go. This exact flight that Daily Drop Pro found for us is showing up in Virgin Atlantic. Okay, so now that we found an available point booking, we set up our account with Virgin Atlantic and verified that that seat is still available, it's now time to transfer our points. So back on Daily Drop Pro, first of all, you could click on this Earn More Flying Club Miles button at the bottom of the screen, and it's actually going to take you to our Virgin Atlantic resource page where you can learn everything you need to know about the Flying Club program, including which cards will help you earn more Flying Club points directly through Virgin Atlantic or through transferable points, which we typically recommend recommend because this gives you more flexibility. Plus, this page also has other related tips and resources for this specific program. So if you're running a little bit short on the type of points that you need for your booking, then this is a really handy tool that I use myself all the time. Okay, but back on Daily Drop Pro, I'm gonna click on this next step button, and it then tells me that I can either book this flight using points that are already in my Flying Club account, and you can see that since I've set up my wallet in Daily Drop Pro, it knows that I already have 74,000 Flying Club miles just sitting in that Virgin Atlantic account. But in most cases, you're probably going to transfer these points from one of your credit cards. So we're going to select the transfer points option, where you'll then see a list of all of the available card providers and loyalty programs where you can transfer points from and convert those into Virgin Atlantic Flying Club miles, which can then be used to book our flight to Paris. If you want a high-level snapshot of transfer partners and how they work with each card provider, then definitely check out our transfer partners cheat sheet. But in this case, you can actually transfer points from every major card provider and even the Marriott Bonvoy program. On the right-hand side, I can see how many transferable points I have with each card provider, which again is coming from my wallet in Daily Drop Pro. Plus, it tells me that right now there's a 40% transfer bonus going on from Chase, meaning we'd only have to transfer 8,500 points, which would then become the 12,000 Flying Club miles that we need for our flight to Paris. So I'm going to select Chase as my transfer option, and I'm then given a link directly to Chase where I can log into my Chase Ultimate Rewards account, and following these exact instructions from Daily Drop Pro, I'm able to quickly navigate to the transfer partners page in my Chase portal, enter the Flying Club membership number that we saw earlier on my Flying Club homepage, and within a minute or two, I'm able to transfer points from my Chase Ultimate Rewards account over to my Virgin Atlantic Flying Club account. Once we've done that, we're then going to click the Next Step button, and Daily Drop Pro then instructs us to refresh our Flying Club account to verify that those points have been transferred, and then rerun the exact same search from earlier to find our desired flight. And now it's just a matter of clicking through these booking menus on the Virgin Atlantic site, where we'll then be able to book our flight to Paris using the points that we just transferred. Okay, I know that may have felt like a lot of steps, especially if you're new to all of this miles and points stuff, but Daily Drop Pro really is going to hold your hand through the entire process and truly makes this as simple as possible. And trust me, transferring points is definitely worth the effort because it is the easiest way to get outsized value on those hard-earned points. I mean, if you would book the flight from today's example alone directly through the Chase portal instead of transferring those points, it would cost 57,000 points for that one-way economy seat. So you could literally book this exact route nearly 5 times simply by transferring your points, not to mention the fact that we saved over $500 by not having to use our hard-earned cash. So let's quickly recap because I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but based on what we just covered, trust me, it is so worth it. First, we're going to search for our desired location and dates using Daily Drop Pro until we find a flight that we'd like to book. Daily Drop Pro will then walk us through how to earn more of that specific type of point and set up an account with that loyalty program, which in today's example was Virgin Atlantic's Flying Club. And then use those transferred points to book our desired Virgin point booking, which in this case happened to be an Air France flight. Earn the points, transfer the points, redeem the points. That's it. A tool like Daily Drop Pro that walks you through each step is exactly what I wish I had when I was a miles and points beginner. So if you'd like to learn more and give this product a shot, then you can obviously check out Daily Drop Pro using the first link down in the description. Again, if you want to see a high-level overview of the many other awesome tools that are built into Daily Drop Pro, then also check out our full launch video and subscribe to our channel, since this is the first video in a series that we're making showing you how to best use this powerful tool and ultimately travel more. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.